has never used Angular. Okay, the recording has started. So Yingming, you can start anytime.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Yingming. There's a bit background sound at my side because I stay beside railway station and also mosque. So you got hear some noise. So sorry for that. So today I will start on this for the week 3 Angular study group. So first is can you guys see my screen? Yes or
Yes,
no?
we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, the first, this is the 6 list I will share today. First is a syntax, template syntax. And then why we use Angular component as directive. What is directive? And then I will show you built-in directive. What is built-in directive? And data binding. There's a one-way and two-way. There's a difference between them. So, and then the fifth one is transform data with pipe. There's a Angular built-in pipe. So you can use the Angular built-in pipe, or you own self, you create your own custom pipe. And the last one is the filtering list. So for the template syntax, is a HTML that contains the logic. And then you will bind your data, and also you will put all your child component inside there for building purpose. For this ng4, ng4 is one of the built-in directive data I will show you guys. This one is the data, the value we get from our result, and then click. This one is the event binding. What happens when you click? Then this one will show. For example, this one. This is the example of the HTML Angular HTML template syntax. Okay, this one is the ng4 click event. This one is the ng class, and this one is the child component. Okay, the second one is why we use component as a directive. A directive is like we add something, we add a behavior to our DOM, document object model. It can shareable to all the component, and it not why we create this. Okay, this one is this one. Okay, for example here. Okay, this one is the very simple template syntax. Okay, for example, this one app highlight. App highlight is actually I get a demo from other code resource. So why this one
Sorry
is app,
sorry to interrupt, Yingmin. Maybe if you can increase the font size a little,
okay.
it's a bit hard to see. Yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Okay, this one app highlight actually is the directive. So this one will, how do we call the directive? Is like, or we start from here first, built-in directive. Okay, the built-in directive, do you guys see before this ng class, ng style, ng model? Yes or no? Okay, I will show you how to use this ng class, ng style, and ng model. This is called attribute directive. Okay, so this one, for example, this one, I create a this one is ng style. ng style here I use, like, for example, I can create a class. For example, I can create a class like title. I name it title, and then I put it inside my CSS. But now I also can do like this. ng style. Then I put the CSS attribute here, property, and then font weight, and then equals to bold. So here, this one is the very hard for me to just hold on. Okay, this one is the component. Last week, Hong did show us how do we create a component. So I create a component named user list, and then I declare a data equal to now any type of array. So here I just put a mock data here, array with object ID, name, status, all these things. And then in my HTML site, I use ng4. For each data, mean data here is the array. For each data, for each item of, for each object in the data, so I display the table cell here. So this one, I put ng style here to display the bold. So it's bold here. Alex, Daniel, Joseph, and also Jane. So why do we need ng style here? Also, okay, for example, here just now we mentioned ng class. For example, ng class here. ng class here, actually I use the ternary operator method. So for example, I compare the item. If item gender equals to gender male, then I will show the class, I will get the class text pool. Else, it will get the class text straight. So this one is for you to differentiate the color here. So you guys might ask, what is gender here? What is gender equals to gender dot male? Gender dot male, actually I create a enum. It's an enum here. So I put inside here. So then outside here, I just compare gender dot male. Yeah. Then I show the text here. I use the enum. There is a purpose why I use enum is because what I having in my working life, the API return is normally using enum. Is the first thing is prevent mistake spelling mistake, and also prevent some. It's very easy for us to handle. So I just show you this enum. Actually, if you don't want, you also can ignore it, not to use enum here. So this is the ng class. And then ng model. ng model is binding, two-way binding. For example, here ng model. So this topic name, and then I put this ng model. Actually, it bind to here. This name is I declare from here. At default, I give it a default string in name Angular victory. So later on here, for example, I just change here. It will change directly. Okay, this highlight is I'm using the directive. Okay, structural directive ng if. When we use ng if and ng4. ng4 normally you want to show a list. Is to repeat a node of each item in a list. ng if is a condition. So ng if, for example here, I just showed just now, ng4. ng4, each item for each object in the array here. Here I got 3, I prepared 3 mock data here. So ng for let object in the array, and then item. Then here got item dot name. So I just, then I show item dot name. This is data binding. Normally in Angular, we are using curly bracket for data binding. Ng if. Okay, ng if is this one, pending. Pending is, wait, I missed out something here and I don't have ng if here. ng switch I seldom use, never used that before, but I look at the description. There is something like the switch function in our JavaScript and also other language. Yeah. So far, okay. Hello.
Yeah, so far okay. Actually, I do have one question. The
Yes.
gender.enum.ts, is
Yeah.
that a naming convention?
No.
Do you have to name it like this?
No need. Actually, you can name it. This one is capital letter, so doesn't matter as well. If
I mean the
your
file name, gender.enum.ts.
normally I name like this.
Mm-hmm. And you put it in a separate folder.
Yeah, in a separate folder.
Okay.
If you are doing like your enum got maybe in press, if you got spacing, then you need to put a double quote here.
Okay.
For example, number 3.
Okay.
So in this list, okay, next we move on to the data binding. This is how I mentioned the one-way binding. One-way binding, we have this interpolations, property, attribute, class, and style. Actually, just now, okay. Normally in Angular, we bind data and use this curly bracket, double curly bracket. So for example, here I want to bind each item of the data. Actually, if you are not, I can show, like for example, here, then yeah, here, actually, you can see what is inside the item. Yeah. So if you want to bind the name, then you need to use the curly bracket here. This is what it means, interpolation. Then the second one is property binding. Okay, this one is the property binding. Disable equals to true. This one you bind to the button property. Disable. So this one I also have. Okay, for example, this one. You bind disable equals to true. If you choose it to false, then it become quitable. This one is actually, you don't want, it just depends, because got some condition that if the status is, this one, why we use this one? Actually, we also can use like this. It's just the same thing. Why we need to put a change it here? It's just for us to handle case. For example, here I use a ternary operation here. If here I don't have, like normally I have, what I did is status dot status is active. Okay, for example, I in the status is active here. Here I don't have the is active here, so it will come out error. So it's active, then it show true. It active is false, and then in not active, it will be true. So it's for you to handle the situations. So far until here, is it okay for you guys?
Yep, okay for me.
Okay, then I will continue.
Can you repeat one more time?
Okay, this one is the attribute for the button. For example, we also can have like this. We also can have like this, and then disable. We don't need to set like this. We can set like this. Actually, both come to same result. Disable. And why we are using this? Because, for example, I create is active here. Is active equals to true. Then here I compare, I make a ternary operation here, is active. And then active, then is false, then is true. For you to handle the case. Okay. Like this, for you to handle the case. Okay. It become a string. Just to handle the case, actually, to so if not active, then it will true. It will show. I forget how. So the next one is the attribute binding.
Can you just repeat what you have delivered so far? Because some we have joined some late and don't. So can you just have a quick sum up from
Quick
where you
sum
have
up.
started? Yeah.
From where I started, you mean from this binding?
Yeah. This slide number 1. Yeah.
Or from here?
Yeah.
Mazhar, you can get the recording of the session later, because if we will not be able to finish the session in time if we go back now. So, but we will be having the session recording for that, so you can go through it.
Yeah. I just need a quick sum up just so to clarify
Okay,
some things. Yeah.
can. Okay, I start from here. Actually, here also I start from here better. So ng class is for you to add class. For example, here the class ng class I'm using here. This one is a ternary operator. So gender here is, do we understand this ng4? Must
Yeah. It's
ng4
for list of items. Yeah.
for each item, right? So ng class, okay, because I want to change the male and female into a different text color. So inside here, my gender is a number. I return a number. And then I use enum. This one is my enum. It's my enum gender. Enum for gender. So inside here, I import the gender here and equals to this gender. So then I can use it outside in my HTML site. In my HTML site. So if my gender, the item gender is 1, equals to this one is enum. If equals to 1, then I will show text blue. This one is my CSS class. This one is my CSS class. So my CSS class is here, text. Text blue, I think is I put here. Yeah, here is my CSS class. So if the gender equals to 1, so I will show text blue. I will give a class name text blue. Else is a text red. So if you are console here, I'm not sure whether I can console here. So you make a console item. You cannot. Okay, yeah, can. So make a console here. When you're debugging, then you mouse over here. It will put the class name embedded here. So it's red. So this one, the ng class work like this. Then the style. Actually, style, this one, if you don't want to create external CSS class, then you can use like this. But I'm not really advised to use because it just same that you are putting a style equals to like this. It's like a lot long. It will mess up your HTML. So class, normally I will use class. So this one is just for demo purpose. So this one ng style font weight. This one is the CSS attribute and property. So I put it font weight equals to bold. Actually, you also can put a class name here and then you define in your CSS. Then this one is style.color. This two is actually same. This one is just directly go to the color, go to the what you call it, attribute color. So if you want, like for example, your style, for example, you also can put style dot background color. CSS got background color. Or CSS got what else? Opacity or all this. You also can put. So this one I put color. So this one I just want to demo the text color. The text color actually is gray. So I also make a ternary operator here. So I compare the status. This one is enum. This status is enum. I also create an enum status here, active, inactive, and also pending.
So have you passed the instance or some reference of this enum into this, or it will automatically just get?
I pass it inside the component right here.
Okay.
This one is enum here. So this one is actually I practice in my working day because we just to prevent some spelling mistake, because sometimes the programmer because from you will see very simple here. Maybe some programmer will you have some spelling mistake like inactive. or maybe they have put it in active. So they got a lot of typing error here lah. So we just prevent, so we use enum. So I think in backend they also nowadays they are using enum for handling all these cases.
Okay.
So we don't want to compare. We don't want to compare. We don't want to compare like this. We don't want to compare to a string. For example, I also can. I think my school time I also compare with like this is inactive compared to a string. So try to prevent to use that. So I use enum. So if the status here is also 1, 2, 3. The 2 is active. So if the status is pending, pending is 3, so it will show gray. Else it will show black. This one I directly to the color. I'm not to the class. This one I give a CSS class. This one I give a CSS class, and then I need to write a CSS class here. Then this one I don't need. This one I directly to the style, to the color.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you passed the reference of the data also? Like you are using let item of data. So have you passed the data in the TTS file?
Yeah, I actually hard coded
Okay.
here.
Okay.
I hard code here. Yeah, actually you can in real life you need to call API. Yeah, so I hard code here. So far this one, okay, this one until here, is it okay?
Yeah, and the get data function we are receiving where just you have initialized the data in the get data method function.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
here.
data, I on init. I place
Okay.
in on init,
Okay.
okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
This on init is like initialize.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to implement on init here. On init
Yes.
also is an Angular call from Angular.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay, next one is ngIf. ngIf I miss out. I'm not showing here. Wait, I see. ngIf. Okay, here ngIf. ngIf is for conditions. For example, ngIf here. Okay, this one I input later. I will explain how. So this one is actually from the parent component here. From the parent component, I combine the data to here. Okay, I got a selected user equals to any. So this one is input. This one later on I try to explain. So this one ngIf is if consists of data, it will show, else it won't show. This one is the ngIf, the purpose of ngIf. If true, then it will show.
It means that if the data is present.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Okay, the data here I define inside here. This one. Okay, this one later we will talk about it. So, and then ng4 just now is the repeat one. ng6, I never used it before, but I read from the documentation, it actually same as the switch function that we use in JavaScript and also other language. Okay, so then we come to the data binding. The data binding, we got interpolation binding, means the curly bracket. The property mining, properties means just now is this one, the property. This one is the button property, the property binding. And then attribute. Attribute binding is this one. This one I haven't do an example for you guys. I just show you how is it. This one is the table code span. Then class and style. Class and style is just like just now I explained just now. This one, class and style binding. Okay, come to the two-way binding. Two-way binding is two-way communication or bidirections communication between view and component. So two-way binding is the most easy example here is the NG model. NG model here, NG model here is here. This one. NG model name. This name I make a default to Angular week 3. I set it as Angular week 3. So then I display here. This one is my display here. Then I put an NG model here. NG model I bind to this one, these two together. So when I change, whatever I change inside the text box here, it will together, it will change together. For example, here, Angular. So it will change together. Another one is when you bind to your child component, just now I mentioned. Okay, just now I mentioned the child component. So this one, the child component is like this. So I create a app user detail. Make sure when you create the component, make sure you put inside your app module also. So I bind the data. This one is input. Selected user, how it work. So when I create a selected user equals to any, then I put a function. I create a function here, click. This one is event binding. You click on select item. This one on select is a function name. So come to here on select. I pass the value here. I pass the whole object here. So this selected user equals to this item. Is it okay for you guys? So what I'm passing here, actually you also can put a debugger here. I'm not sure whether working here. So when I click, okay, when I click, I pass the whole object here. And then I pass the whole thing. I click just now, I click Kuala Lumpur, Alex Scott. So I pass the whole thing here. So my selected user will be equals to the item I selected. So this one, the yellow part is my child component. So how do I bind with my child component? So this one is my child component, app user detail. Okay. Use input. Input means you get something from outside. Another one is output. Output is admit. So here I'm not showing the output one. I'm just showing the input one. Just now here, okay, I passed the selected user. Just now the selected user is this one, the whole object. So I pass into the app user detail component. So this user detail component, actually, if you want to check whether is it passed in, you can check. Like this. So So the first one at first is undefined. Then I don't have. Never mind. This one, the data here, you see here, the data if undefined, right, is undefined means then I put a ng if here. If nothing, it won't show. If got something passing in, then it will show. Something passing in, it will show. So that is the purpose of ng if. So when I'm passing in, every time I click, it will pass the, it will call the function, it will call the function on select. This one also a function is on alert. I want to show on alert, and then I pass in the same thing, the whole object here. And then okay, click here. Then join is selected. Why not stop there? Okay. Then I pass the whole object here, and then I use the name dot name item dot name. Then Daniel Joseph is selected. Okay, this one actually, maybe some of you guys are using this one user, and then plus sign and plus sign, and then item dot name. You can use this also. But somehow I very used to use this one. This one is actually the what we call that code. This one is combine the string and also the object here. You also can use the plus sign or use a dollar sign. And also this one, the most important thing is this one. This one is different from this single quote. It's not a single quote, it's what we call that is below your escape button. So
First one is just for concatenation. First one is just for concatenation, and second is we are passing it to the dollar.
First one, what first one?
First one is the concatenation of the string and the value. And second one, we have the value embedded because we're using the backtick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will use this one because too much of plus sign will make the condition, the message getting worse, very hard to read. So the second one is the following. Okay, this one I show you the two-way binding communication. Okay, the next one. Okay, you guys will see got a lot of why we use this and why we use the square bracket and why we use the normal bracket. Okay, this one is for the property binding. Okay, this one like this. This one is for event. This one is for two-way binding. Okay, so for example, just now I show you this one. This one is we so-called input. So input, then I need to input the data, get in the data inside. Yeah. Okay, then continue for the transform data using types. Actually, in Angular, usually work with this one vertical separator to transform the data. In Angular, they got their own built-in. It's a very simple one. This is a data type, uppercase, lowercase, currency, decimal, and percentage. Okay, I show you guys now. And also you can also have your own customer pipe later after I'm showing this. Okay, for example, this pipe. Okay, this uppercase, it will transform all your string to uppercase and then lowercase. Okay, show you. Okay. You just need to have this vertical stroke and then you make uppercase. You can do like this, or you use your CSS to text transform to uppercase. It works. Just another option for you to transform your text. Okay. Then this one is the lowercase. Why? How I going to show? This one is the lowercase. Okay. Then this one is the pipe for the for date. And make sure your date is in moment. This one in moment. Then it will able to transform. So you want to transform to date, month, and year. It will show. Then this one is change pipe, mean you use two together, and then you date and then you uppercase it. Then so that your this is uppercase. And then to a decimal, you want to show how many decimal you want, or you want to show four digit at the behind. So you can use like this. This one is 2. And then the percentage here. Percentage, make sure that it's 0. If you're times 100, then it's 50. You will round up to the nearest 10. So this one 0.54565, that it will convert to 55%. Okay, then I will talk about this custom pipe. Custom pipe is this one is not from the built-in Angular. This one is I create a pipe for myself for this one. Actually, this one Angular generator, and then you create a pipe, and then you can name your pipe here text. Okay. Test. And it will create for you. Then my pipe here is I get the enum, and then I want to return the key and the key only. So here I got the enum for the status, active, inactive, and pending. So inside here, of course, I need to register. I need to import into my app component, and then inside my pipe, I could use it like this. Just enum to array using the pipe here. This one, the name, enum to array, and then I use it here. So it only show the keywords for my enum. So if you want to this one uppercase, okay. Will transform to uppercase also. This one is the custom pipe. And then this one is my another custom pipe. I want to filter status filter. So my status filter here, I pass in the status, what I want. For example, just now I pass in 2. So it will filter. This one is the JavaScript filter functions. And then you filter the status equals to this status. This status, this status is what I pass in from here, the number 2. So for example, just now I got this user list, then I got status 2 and 3. So here I filter all the 2, status 2, so it returned me the 2% of this 2%. This one is decimal pipe. Okay, this one you can, I get it from internet, so just explain what it means in the just now. This one. This one is the minimum, the first one, minimum integer digit, the minimum fraction digit, and also the maximum. So the maximum one is the how many digit you want, how many digit you want. And this one is the minimum. For example, if 00012, so it won't show. Then next one is internationalization. This one is I couldn't prepare an example for you guys. This one is also one of the pipe. Actually, this pipe also including this thing. This thing is when a website you support a multi-language. Okay, I will show you. This is the file I used to have. I did before. I get from this package, not package manager. I go install here, and then I create a study from some tutorial, and then I got this one, the 2 JSON file. This 2 JSON file is not generated, is I created. So inside here got the string you want to translate. For example, my website is support Chinese and also English. So I put all the wording, okay, the wording here. Then if I want to show, for example, this one is the button, then I want to show a plus and also a text word, a wording. So I just get this comment. So comment dot created if you're, I store the language selection in my local storage. So when the local storage is Chinese, then I will select this one. Then it's created, then it will show the created. This one translate is from this package, not package manager. So this is their pipe. So I will show the text regarding the languages I selected. So back to just now the directive. Okay, this directive actually is when do we need to create a directive? Actually, directive from my side, I only create for my upload image only, because upload image and also some upload thing, it used and it's shareable for all the component. Okay, directive actually is add some behavior to your element, consists of a structure attribute. Attribute means the class, the display thing. So for example, here I get a simple directive, this one. So this directive, I name it as a highlight. So here I got passed in input, the default color is a string, highlight color. So, and then I pass a host list, add a host listener. So on my mouse leaf, it will highlight, this dot highlight is now. Or else it will become, if I got passed in the default color, it will become the default color. Else it will become a red color. So this one is, I put it inside inside here. I pass in the directive here. So I pass in the color. Color here, is a string. Then I pass in the default color is violet. So then when I mouse over here, it will change, it will highlight the color. Mouse. Yeah, this one. The background color will become the color as I defined before. That's all for my side. Okay, another thing is, what is the difference between component and directive? Component is only single thing, okay? But the first is of course this one, the metadata component and also the directive. So directive got this one. Actually, Angular also have all these things, and also the component have this one. And then this component is used for a single page only, but this one you can reuse for all the component. This one, then this one don't have the view page. Then normally your component will have a view page, and then you are define it here, template.url, and then put your view page inside here. This view page. Yeah, that's all for my side. Is it okay? Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, In Min. Can you repeat the part about the difference between directive and component? So usually we use component to create UI, component, because it will come with HTML.
Yeah, correct.
And directive is more for
adding some behavior and
so like a function to change. So like a JavaScript, is that right?
Yeah,
can you show us the directive again in your example?
This one actually I get from.
All right, so the one you used to highlight the title Angular topic name, you used a directive to change the background color.
Because, this one.
Okay. Okay. I see. Cool. Any question from anyone else?
It's a bit messy.
Is it clear so far?
I think I will share this one. I would share this one for you guys to
Okay. So this is an
This one
online
nice.
editor. You used
Yeah, an
Stackits.
online editor. This one.
Okay.
Okay. I will share this one, and also my this one called presentation slide.
Great.
Actually, I try to do this inside here also, but to late, maybe next week I will put inside next week. See how. For this one is actually a very common, I think it's common. If you want to use for support multi language, then you have to use this one. This one because it's supported. It's also considered under the topic type.
Yeah, this one I actually have a question. I'm not sure if it's relevant. It seems like for every tag that you're using, for example, in this example, you have comment.create. You want to replace this with
I want to
the
support the both language.
Chinese or English,
Yeah,
but you need to pass in the pipe and translate
yeah.
every time you
Every time.
output a
Yeah,
text. So
correct,
this
correct.
one will be repeated throughout your Angular
Yeah, throughout
slash
my
this
whole
pipe translate.
throughout my whole view, whole HTML.
Okay,
For
it
those
looks
tag,
quite
a lot
complicated.
of things because somehow you miss out. For example, like this, I got, for example, the cn.json, I got the save, common.save, I got save here. But then in the English version, I forget to put the save. Then if I have the experience before, the user click on the English page or either one, if I don't define it, and then it will become blank.
Okay,
Yeah, I need to be very careful in order to use this.
all right. Any question from anyone else?
Hello. Hi. I have a question regarding because directive and pipe, right? Both of them also we can use it to customize the behavior. And then what is the difference and what in which situation we were kind of using it? Because we were having three options like in the component.ts, we also can add some logic to work on the behavior, and then the pipe also, like every single data, if we using pipe, we can have some logic to handle it, and directive also is one of it that you can customize and change the behavior. So what is the difference and how to differentiate which situation we should use it?
You mean the pipe, is it Angular built-in pipe? Or
Yeah, the Angular pipe.
normally directive is most complex one, because Angular
Okay.
built-in one only got this few thing. So if, for example, you want to have more, currently I
You
only
can also
have
just now customize it, right? I saw you customize it and register it so that every single data will be having the like getting the enums in the key, some kind of it, right? So you're passing in the data and then it doing some logic and returning the,
you mean the custom pipe?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and you're
Actually,
doing,
this one is only very simple thing. For
okay,
me, I think directive, you need to handle directive. You can call a function here. Actually,
okay,
you can create a function to handle. You can call API function to handle your site. As I mentioned just now, I got
okay,
a image directive. It means image directive inside got you can
Pass in the data, is it then from
pass in
the
the data to
data?
code, and then you can call API
Okay,
like that. I think
got
this
it.
is the different.
Yeah,
So far, I only able to actually I seldom use directive. This one
yeah,
actually
yeah.
I also get from
Okay.
outsource, that from the example I online. Then
Yeah,
currently
it's
I
a
have is
very good information. Never see it before, so try to like maybe it will be a good way to process some complex situation.
okay. I hope that help you.
Sure, that helps me a lot. Thank you.
What else?
Any other question? Nope. So I guess your explanation was very good. So no more questions.
I also how to say, I don't know from where I should start to explain. Actually, I want to plan to follow this one. I end up sorry guys.
That's good. That's a good effort. Thank you so much. So next week we have Kai Kyung, and he'll be talking about services and dependency injection. All right. Any comment from anybody? Comment, questions? Hong said, well done. Sanjeev said, thank you very much.
Okay.
And Yingming posted the link to these slides. Okay,
You
thank you.
want me to post in WhatsApp or?
Yeah, you can post in WhatsApp too.
Okay, can.
Okay, thanks very much, Yingming.
Thank you.
Really
Bye-bye.
appreciate it. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.